Krupa Karo Vaishnava Thakura. Is there any? कृपा करो आ गया very fast. How to sing this? Somebody can help me, please. Yes. Yes. How to sing this? Yes. Huh? Krupa Koro Vaishnava Thakur Sambandha Janiya Krupa Koro Vaishnava Thakur Sambandha Janiya Krupa Koro Vaishnava Thakur Sambandha Janiya Bajite bajite abhimana ho dura Bajite bajite abhimana ho dura Amito Vaishnavaye Buddhile Amani na hobo ami Amito Vaishnavaye Buddhi oile Amani na hobo ami Ratishta sa sirudayo dushibe oibe nirayagami Tomara kinkoro apane janibo guri abhimana tyaji apane janibo guru abhimana tyaji Tomara uchishta pada jalarenu sadani iskapate baji Pada jalarenu sadani iskapate baji Nije sheshta jani uchishta didan Obe abhimana badha Uchishta didane obe abhimana badha Tai shishata bhatha kiya sarvada Nalobo puja ka Shishata bhatha kiya sarvada Nalobo puja ka Amani अधिकारा दिबे तुमी मणि मनदा ओइले कीर्तने अधिकारा दिबे तुमी तुम्हारा चरणे निष्कपटे आमी तांडिया लुटिबो भूमि तुम्हारा चरण कपटे आमी तांडिया लुटिबो भूमि। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय यशोदानंदन जय ब्रजजनरञ्जन जय यशोदानंदन ब्रजजनरञ्जन जय यशोदानंदन जय ब्रजजनरञ्जन जय नंदना जय यमुनातीरवनचारी जय कुंज बिहारी जय यमुनातीरवनचारी जय कुंज बिहारी जय यमुनातीरवनचारी जय कुंज बिहारी जय यमुना हरे जय जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय यशोदानंदन जय ब्रजजनरञ्जन जय नंदन जय ब्रजजनरञ्जन जय यशोदानंदन जय ब्रजजनरञ्जन जय यशोदानंदन जय ब्रजजनरञ्जन जय यमुनातीरवनचारी जय कुंज बिहारी जय यमुनातीरवनचारी कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव राधे जय जगन्नाथ बलदेवा सुभद्रमयि जय सुदर्शन Jai Gauranitai, 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 Jai Gauranitai. Gauranitai, Gauranitai. Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada. Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Srila Prabhupada ki, Shri Radha Madhava ki. We will read translation for this bhajan. O Vaishnava Thakur, please give me your mercy, knowledge of my relationship with Bhagavan and the ability to do bhajan, sending my false ego far away. Please continue. Please. So I just hold my mobile, this bhajan appeared on my phone actually. So I did not choose this bhajan, but it is there. So I was thinking what to sing, so it is there. So I felt, let me sing this. So I think it's first time we are singing in ISKCON Attapur this bhajan. So it's very nice bhajan. We should not think ourselves as a Vaishnava. If we think that I am a Vaishnava, it's mentioned here, we will never become humble. My heart will be contaminated with the hope of receiving honor from others. So it's nice bhajan. So we will recite. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Nama Nama Pankajanabhaya Nama Pankajamaline Nama Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangraye Aradhyo Brajeshatanaya Staddama Vrindavanam Ramya Kachita Upasana Vrajavadu Varginava Kalpita Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam pramanamamalam prema pumato mahan Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhur matamidam tatra dharana paraha. Hare Krishna. So we are reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, first canto, 19th chapter, entitled as The Appearance of Sukadeva Goswami. Text 12. Please repeat after me. Sukha, Sukha. Upavisheshu Atha Teshu Bhuyaha Kruta Pranama Sva Chikeshitam Yad Vignapayamasa Vivikta Cheta Upastitaha Agre abhigrihita panihi sukopavishteshvatateshu bhuyaha Kruta pranama svachikishitam ye Vignapayamasa vivikta cheta Upastito gre abhigrihita panihi Sukopavishteshvatateshu bhuyaha Kruta pranama svachikishitam ye Vignapayamasa vivikta cheta Upastito gre abhigrihita panihi Sukopavishteshvatateshu bhuyaha Kruta pranama svachikishitam ye Vignapayamasa vivikta cheta Upastito gre abhigrihita panihi Please recite. Vignapayamasa vivikta cheta Upastito gre abhigrihita pani Please recite. Sukopavishteshvatateshu bhuyaha Kruta pranama svachikishitam ye Vignapayamasa vivikta cheta Upasito gre abhigrihita pani Please recite. Sukopavisto shvatiteshu bhuyaha Kruta pranama svachikishitam ye Vignapayamasa vivikta cheta Upasito gre abhigrihita pani Word to word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Sukha happily Upavishteshu all sitting down Atha thereupon Teshu unto them the visitors Bhuyaha again Kruta pranama having offered obeisances Sva his own Chikishitam decision of fasting Yet who Vignapayamasa submitted Vivikta Cheta one whose mind is detached from worldly affairs Upastitaha being present Agre before them Abhigrihita pani humbly with folded hands. Translation. After all the rishis and others had seated themselves comfortably, the king, humbly standing before them with folded hands, told them of his decision to fast until death. Purport. Although the king had already decided to fast until death on the bank of the Ganges, he humbly expressed his decision to elicit the opinions of the great authorities present there. Any decision, however important, should be confined by some authority that makes the matter perfect. This means that the monarchs who ruled the earth in those days were not irresponsible dictators. They scrupulously followed the authoritative decisions of the saints and sages in terms of Vedic injunctions. Maharaja Pariksit, as a perfect king, followed the principles by consulting the authorities even up to the last days of his life. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Gnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurun Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunadanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Cha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pachatya Deshatarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine Shri Vashavanavi Devi Daitaya Kripabde Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhave Nama Madhuryojvala Premadya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Viruddhapa Siddhanta Dvantaharine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagyamurtaye Vipralambar Sambodhi Padambujayate Namo Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gaura Virbhava Bhumyestvam Nirdeshta Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Sri Jagannadayate Nama Vancha Kalpataru Vyacha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratvishe Namah Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostade Jayatam Surato Pangor Mama Manda Matergati Masarvasya Padam Bojo Radha Madana Mohano Divya Vrindaranya Kalpa Dumada Śrīmad Ratnagara Simhasanasto Śrīmad Radha Śrīla Govinda Devo Preshtalibi Sevyamano Smarami Śrīmad Rasarasarambi Vamshi Vata Tatastita Karshan Venur Svanir Gopi Gopinada Sriye Sunaha Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishvanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktaranda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So, it's our great fortune to sit in Bhagavatam class. Yeah, it's very rare to hear Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. It's like we were not hearing in our school days, college days, or engineering time. Of course, some of you must have joined ISKCON in engineering or inter, but since our childhood we didn't get the opportunity to hear Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So it's our very great fortune that we are hearing such a exalted scripture, Amal Puran, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So we'll hear the glories of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. mention. Shri Radha Madhav ki, Shri Gaur Nitai ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. So, in the first canto of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, here there are some verses, very nice verses, we will just read for a few. Like we are hearing, Vyasadeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janati Asu Vairagyam Jnanam Cha Yadahaitukam. It is mentioned here, by rendering devotional service unto Krishna, one immediately acquires causeless knowledge and detachment from the world. Just by rendering devotional service, the two things will happen: causeless knowledge and detachment from the world. Dharma svanistita pumsam vishvakshena katasuya notpade dediratim shramayevai kevalam. The occupational activities a man performs according to his own position are only so much useless labor if they do not provoke attraction for the message of the personality of Godhead. Dharmasya yapavargasya narto artayopakalpate nardasya dharmaikantasya kamo labhaya smruta. All occupational engagements are certainly meant for ultimate liberation. They should never be performed for material gain. Furthermore, according to sages, one who is engaged in the ultimate occupational service should never use material gain to cultivate sense gratification. Kamasya nendriya priti labho jiveta yavata jivasya tattva jignasa narto yasceha karmabhi. Life's desires should never be directed toward sense gratification. One should desire only a healthy life or self-preservation, since a human being is meant for inquiry about the absolute truth. Nothing else should be the goal of one's work. Vadanti tat tattva vidas tattvam yajnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti shabdyate. Learned transcendentalists who know the absolute truth call this non-dual substance Brahman, Paramatma or Bhagavan. Tachraddadana munayo jnana vairagya yuktaya pashyanti atmani chatmanam bhaktya shruta grihitaya. The seriously inquisitive student or sage, well equipped with knowledge and detachment, realizes that the absolute truth by rendering devotional service in terms of what he has heard from the Vedanta Shruti. Ata pumbe dvijashreshta varnashrama vibhagasha swanustitasya dharmasya samtiddhiraritoshanam. Best among the twice born, it is therefore concluded that the highest perfection one can achieve by discharging the duties prescribed for one's own occupation according to caste divisions and orders of life is to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Tasmadekena manasa bhagavan satvatam pati shrotavya kirtitavyacha dheya pujascha nityada. Therefore, with one pointed attention, one should constantly hear about, glorify, remember and worship the Personality of Godhead who is the protector of the devotees. With one pointed attention we should hear. Yed anudyasina yukta karma grandhi nibandhanam sindanti kovidastasya kona kuryat kataratim. With sword in hand, intelligent man cut through the binding knots of reactionary work karma by remembering the Personality of Godhead. Therefore, who will not pay attention to his message? Shushusho shaddadanasya vasudeva kataruchi Syanmaha sevaya vipra punyatirtha nishevana. O twice born sages, by serving those devotees who are completely freed from all vice, great service is done. By such service, one gains affinity for hearing the messages of Vyasadeva. Like you all are sitting here, it's just because we are serving those devotees who are completely freed from all vice. Shrinvatam sakata Krishna punya shravana kirtana Hrudayantasto hi bhadrani vidunoti surussadam. Sri Krishna, the Personality of Godhead, who is a Paramatma, super soul in everyone's heart, and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, he cleanses the desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. So, we should be just have that urge to hear Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam class. Nashta prayeshu bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati ruttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naistiki. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto Krishna, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Tada rajastamo bhava kamalo badhayachaye chetaye tairana vidyam stitam sattve prasidati. As soon as irrevocable loving service is established in the heart, the effects of natures of modes of passion and ignorance, such as lust, desire, and hankering, disappear from the heart. Then the devotee is established in goodness and he becomes completely happy. See how great devotional service is. Evam prasanna manaso bhagavad bhakti yogata bhagavad tattva vijnanam mukta sangasya jayate. Thus established in the mode of unalloyed goodness, the man whose mind has been enlivened by contact with devotional service to the Lord gains positive scientific knowledge of Krishna in the stage of liberation from all material association. Vidyate hridaya grandhis chidyante sarva samshaya kshiyante chasya karmani drishtaeva atmanishvare. Thus the knot in the heart is pierced and all misgivings are cut to pieces. The chain of fruitive actions is terminated when one sees the self as master. Ato vaikavayo nityam bhaktim paramaya muda vasudeve bhagavati kuruvantatma prasadanim. Certainly therefore, since time immemorial, all transcendentalists have been rendering devotional service to Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead, with great delight, because such devotional service is enlivening to the self. So this verse is very nice, you see. Since time immemorial it is mentioned. Anadikal se transcendentalists are rendering devotional service. It's not that only in ISKCON we started performing devotional service. Anadikal se so many devotees, they are rendering service to Krishna because it is enlivening to the self. So these are the glories of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And now we come to this verse, today's verse. This most beautiful verse where Pariksit Maharaj, it's mentioned in translation, that is humbly standing before all the sages with folded hands and told them of his decision to fast till until death. Now previous verse says, so who are those sages? Where have they come from? It's mentioned, it's not that they are only from this planet, they are from different parts of the universe. You see how big universe it is? This planet itself is so huge, and like this it's mentioned in many purports of Srila Prabhupada. He says that there are unlimited planets in one universe. We can't imagine that. It says in one universe, and in that there are unlimited planets. So it's mentioned from different parts of the universe there arrived great sages like Atri, Chavana, Sharadvan, Arishtanemi, Bhrugu, Vashishta, Parashara. You all know Parashara is the father of Vyasadeva. Vishwamitra, Angira, Parshuram, Utatya, so many, Of course, I don't think these pages are enough to mention the names of the sages who are assembled there, but some names are mentioned. It's 88,000 sages? 80? No? That is Naimisharana. So here it is maybe more huge actually. I don't know exactly how many, but it must be very huge. There were also many other saintly demigods. Devatas bhi aaye the udhar. Kings and special royal others called Arunadayas. From different dynasty of sages. You see Narada Muni also sitting he's the only one who is sitting with Veena in the assembly. You can see. Because always sings the glories of Krishna. So he has always his instrument. And what Pariksit Maharaj did when he came to the assembly of the sages, he received them properly by bowing down his head to the ground. Like we were hearing from his great Chaitanya Prabhu yesterday that how one should treat their superiors, the proper way of respecting elders, bowing down his head to the ground. It's proper etiquette. It's mentioned in Prabhupada purports. Humble etiquette it is, in order to be excused from any offenses. Like I was telling, when we come to temple also, as soon as we enter the temple, we see all the devotees, they bow down there, and they bow down to Prabhupada, and they bow down to deities, and while leaving also they bow down to Prabhupada, they bow down to deities, and they bow down to Vaishnavas. So this is a humble etiquette. And today's words, it says, and he offered obeisances, then he was standing before them with folded hands. And what he is telling them, he told them that of his decision, he decided to do fasting until death. Because he came to know that he is going to die in 7 days. So he decided to fast till death. So is illicit means what? He's asking their opinions. It's mentioned. Illicit opinions. Let us see. Prabhupada uses such a language, even very great scholars also cannot know the meaning. Sometimes they have to refer a dictionary. And the Prabhupada which used the words, there are some words which there is no meaning in the dictionary only. Like, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, when their devotees were translating in Japan language, they don't know the meaning, they don't have any word for that. Krishna, there's no meaning in their dictionary. So it's very evoke or draw out answer or fact or a reaction from someone. So he's expecting some answers what to do. He's decided to fast, so he's asking their opinion, decisions. So he's mentioned any decision, however important, should be confirmed by some authority. Like we see in Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna was completely confused. Of course, he's playing the role, like he's put into illusion for some time, but he's a great devotee of the Lord. In Bhagavad Gita 2nd chapter 7th verse, it says that Arjuna is telling, I am confused about my duty. Karpanya dosho pahata svabhava pruchami tvam dharma sammudachaya echeyasya nichitan bruhitan me shishyaste ham shadi mam tvam sapanam. Shishyaste means a soul surrender unto you, a disciple. Now I am confused about my duty and lost all composure because of my miserly weakness. In this condition, weakness also came here. In this condition, I am asking you to tell me for certain what is best for me. Now I am your disciple and a soul surrender unto you. Please instruct me. Here it is Arjuna's miserly weakness. In our case, we may feel weakness of so many reasons. So Arjuna is feeling miserly weakness here. We might be feeling bodily weakness or mental weakness, intellectual weakness or sensual weakness. So just like Arjuna approached Krishna and is asking, what is best for me? You please tell me. Because now I am your disciple and soul surrender unto you. Please instruct me. This is one of the divine qualities, if somebody is asking guidance from others, superior, like personally Krishna is there because there is nobody to guide him. It's Arjuna who is there, Krishna is there, so he is telling that I am surrender unto you, so please instruct me. So Prabhupada writes in the purports, by nature's own way, the complete system of material activity is the source of perplexity for everyone. In every step there is perplexity, and therefore it behooves one to approach a bona fide spiritual master who who can give one proper guidance for executing the purpose of life. Everybody is in so many problems, so that's why it says to approach a bona fide spiritual master for guidance. All Vedic literatures advise us to approach a bona fide spiritual master to get free from the perplexities of life, which happen without our desire. What is without our desire? Death happens without our desire. Old age happens without our desire. Diseases are coming without our desires. Adhyatmika kleshas, adibhautika klesha, adidaivika kleshas, they happen without our desire. So these are the real perplexities of life. It's mentioned they are like a forest fire that somehow blazes without being set by anyone. You see in the forest, fire burns often, right? So who does that? It happens without being said by anyone, Prabhupada writes. Similarly, the world situation is such that perplexities of life automatically appear without our wanting such confusion. No one wants fire, and yet it takes place, and we become perplexed. The Vedic wisdom therefore advises that in order to solve the perplexities of life and to understand the science of the solution, one must approach a spiritual master who is in the disciplic succession. It's not that we go for guidance from anyone and everyone in the society, although there are many leaders, many teachers, there's so many people, but it mentioned here that we should approach a bona fide spiritual master who are in the disciplic succession. Like we see, I think this is the only book we see on this planet where entire parampara is given from Lord Krishna, Brahma, Narada, Vyasa, so much, till our founder Acharya and his disciples who are all bona fide. A person with a bona fide spiritual master is supposed to know everything. One should not therefore remain in material perplexities, but should approach a spiritual master. We all should understand we are in perplexities because nature is enforcing upon us Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi, all these perplexities, they are all perplexities. So therefore we should not remain in such situations, but we should approach a spiritual master. What to do to come out of these perplexities. This is the purport of this verse. So who is the man in perplexities? So Prabhupada writes, who is that person who is in perplexities? It is he who does not understand the problems of life. He who does not understand the problems of life. There is a death, but he does not understand that there is a death. What kind of old age is this? There is a old age. He does not understand that there is a old age. He does not realize. It does not come to his senses. He doesn't understand. Prabhupada says. In the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, the perplexed man is described as follows. Yo va etad aksharam gargi avidvamsam aloka praiti sakrupanaha. He is a miserly man who does not solve the problems of life as a human being and who thus quits in this world like the cats and dogs. Prabhupada gives very nice examples, Animals, they die without their knowing. They don't know that there is a death ahead. They just throughout the life, they eat, they give birth to their children's animals, and they eat and they sleep, and one day they die. They don't have any idea of death. They don't have any idea of old age. They don't have any idea of diseases. They don't know that they are suffering. Without understanding the science of self-realization, this human form of life is most valuable asset for a living entity who can utilize it for solving the problems of life. So it's mentioned, the soul, when it comes to human body, he has the opportunity to escape the cycle of birth and death. Like we see Maharaja Pariksit here, he has decided to fast till death. He's decided to fast till death because he came to know that he is going to die in 7 days. So he has decided that. Because the human life, you can prepare for that. And that's a great opportunity. You can put full stop for a cycle of birth and death. One who does not utilize this opportunity properly is a miser. On the other hand, there is a Brahmana, or he who is intelligent enough to utilize his body to solve all the problems of life. Yaye tadaksharam gargi vididvasvam lokhat praiti sa brahmanaha. The Krupanas or miserly persons waste their time in being overly affectionate for family, society, country, etc. in the material conception of life. You see, who are the Krupanas? Who are the Krupanas? They are so affectionate to family, mera family, my children, my society, my country, my kulam, so many things. They have so many upadhis. Bhagavatam says upadhi. I am this, I am that. So they waste their time. Bhagavatam says it's a waste of time to be overly affectionate to family members. It's mentioned, being overly affectionate for family members, it's a waste of time. Being overly affectionate for society, country, the material conception of life. One is often attached to family life, namely to wife, children, and other members. On the basis of, it's a skin disease, Prabhupada says. It's a skin disease. We never heard this, We had only skin disease, some rashes or this, that. But Prabhupada says attached to, overly affectionate to family members is also skin disease. The Krupana thinks that he is able to protect his family members from death. You see? He is thinking that he can protect his family members from death. We cannot save them. Krupana thinks like that. The Krupana thinks that his family or society can save him from the verge of death. He also thinks that they will save him from death, and he thinks that I will save them from death. So that is Krupana. Such family attachment can be found even in the lower animals who take care of children also. It's not that only in human society is there, it's even in animal society. Being intelligent, Arjuna could understand that his affection for family members and his wish to protect them from death were the causes of his perplexities. So it's mentioned what is the cause of Arjuna's perplexities is that he is affectionate for family members and he wishes to protect them from death. So what is his wish? He wants to protect all his family members, relatives from death. That is his wish. And that became the source of perplexity for Arjuna. Although he could understand that his duties to fight was awaiting him. Here we see Pariksit Maharaj, he has also family members. But he just left them, He just left them. He came to know that Brahmana boy cursed me to die in 7 days. But what Pariksit Maharaj did? He didn't carry all his children's wife, okay, let us go to forest and hear about it. No, he left all of them, everything with just one cloth. He is spiritual master without clothes, and he has just one line. He is such a detached person. He didn't go in a royal order. So he went in such a high detachment, it is the highest detachment. He left everyone and he went to the banks of the Ganges. Although he could understand that his duties to fight was awaiting him, still on account of miserly weakness, he could not discharge the duties. He is therefore asking Krishna, is the Supreme Spiritual Master, to make a definite solution. He offers himself to Krishna as a disciple. He wants to stop friendly talks. Talks between the master and the disciple are serious. And now Arjuna wants to talk very seriously before the recognized spiritual master. So in ISKCON we have many spiritual masters, many Diksha Gurus, Siksha Gurus. So we are very fortunate. Prabhupada has created such an atmosphere. We all are in perplexities of life. So we have many superiors who are there to guide us. Like we see in Juhu, in Vrindavan, in Mayapur, we see so many Vaishnavas. Here also in Attapur ISKCON we have so many great devotees here. So anything is there in our life, any question comes, anything comes, any doubt comes in our services, we should check with authorities. We should not act whimsically. So we should do whatever our superior says. That is the safest journey in our spiritual path. The safest journey. Krishna is therefore the original spiritual master of the science of Bhagavad Gita, and Arjuna is the first disciple for understanding the Gita. How Arjuna understands Gita is stated in the Gita itself, and yet foolish mundane scholars explain that one need not to submit Krishna to Krishna as a person, but to the unborn within Krishna. There is no difference between Krishnas within and without, and one who has no sense of this understanding is the greatest fool in trying to understand Bhagavad Gita. So now here again talks about there is no difference between body of Krishna and Krishna himself, his name, his form. We are chanting Hare Krishna, that means we are associating with Krishna. We are seeing the deities. It's not that they are just, many people they don't know that the deity is Krishna himself. He's appeared here, so in which you can see him. So the deities, they are non-different from Krishna. They appear just to please, for the request of the Vaishnavas. So they invite, Prabhupada invited these deities, that's how they have come to Attapur ISKCON. So there is no difference between Krishna and Krishna's body. If somebody is trying to understand Gita that there is a difference between body of Krishna and Krishna, then he is a big fool, he is the greatest fool in trying to understand Gita. So just like Arjuna has surrendered to Krishna, so here in our society we are trying to surrender to Srila Prabhupada instructions. That is itself is a austerity for Kali Yuga. We are trying to chant 16 rounds. Even Lord himself is exemplifying. Lord Chaitanya himself is also doing how many rounds? 128 rounds, something like that. Lord Chaitanya is also doing he is also counting every day's rounds. Because he is also disciple of Ishwarapuri. So he is also counting and a particular number of rounds he is chanting. So whoever is there in this disciplic succession, you see Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, everybody is chanting their particular rounds. So we should not miss our rounds. So if we are missing our rounds, sometimes we are unable to chant, we should approach seniors. I couldn't chant my rounds, what should I do? It's not that okay, let it go that day. So we should approach any situation which is hampering our spiritual life. We should go to our superiors and we should take guidance. That will make our life very, very easier. Dhruva Maharaj also, you see, when he went to forest, Narada Muni, he approached, Narada Muni came there and Dhruva Maharaj took instructions from Narada Muni and he followed the instructions, and within 6 months he saw Krishna in front of his eyes. He's just 5 years old boy. You see, God realization, it does not depend on age, it looks. You see, anybody can realize Krishna at any stage of life. It's not that only at the time of death one can see Krishna or one can realize Krishna. No. At any stage of life, one can see Krishna. So that is Dhruva Maharaj, and we heard from Arjun, he surrendered to Krishna and his instructions. So in our life, we should also surrender to the instructions of spiritual master. Sometimes it may be very difficult to get up in the morning, but still, we should follow our superiors. Like they are telling us to sleep by 9, but we want to do something else. We want to continue 9:30, 10 o'clock, sometimes we may not. So you see how if we are able to follow the instructions of superiors, that will make our life very, very easier. It's very simple to lead a spiritual life. It's very easy. You just follow whatever authorities they say. As soon as we want to follow our own mind, then mind becomes agitated. We cannot be peaceful. It's my experience. Mind becomes so much. I want to do something, without informing authorities. Mind just becomes agitated, so much agitated. But at least trying to follow the instructions of superiors, then our minds becomes very, very peaceful. You all can experience, you can see in your own life. You just do whatever they say. It's as good. So thank you all very much. I don't know how the time went till 9 o'clock. So if you have any comments or questions or any suggestions, can please, Hare Krishna. Please, okay, I can speak little louder.
Krishna. But we have so many superiors. So do we have to follow all of them, whatever they say, or like someone? There has to be one whom we have to follow fully. Others, or like all superiors we have to follow.
So you have to follow bona fide superiors, those who are. You should see. We should we should see that who is our Madhyamadhikari, who is Uttamadhikari, who is Kanishtadhikari. Suppose one may be a Kanishtadhikari, but a devotee came later. He must have become self-realized soul. I may not be, following my own mind and instructing him. So we should see, even in the devotee community, we should follow. You can decide that you can see by symptoms, those are self-realized soul. You can follow whatever they say. Yeah, like in ISKCON Attapur, we have his Chaitanya Avatar Prabhu. So we can follow him, whatever he says. Like somebody else is telling, Pujari is telling to do something else, but Prabhuji is telling to do something. So we should follow his instructions, because we are told by his superior to follow what Chaitanya Avatar Prabhu said. So we are all under guidance of Parampara, so whatever, like that. So one devotee is sufficient to progress in Krishna consciousness. He will take care of it. And if you have any doubts, we can check with this devotee whom you are following. So he is saying something, so should I follow or not? If he agrees, we can follow. That's easiest.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we will end the class here, I think. Grandra Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. All glories to Shri Radha Madhava, Gauranitai, Jagannath Baldev Subhadra, Srila Prabhupada, and all the Vaishnavas.
Shri Guru Vaishnavangscha